All right, this is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 7.
Right.
For the vineyard of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel.
Right.
And the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looks for judgment, but behold, oppression, for righteousness, but behold, a cry.
Right, so we're going to just keep that in mind, right? The vineyard of the Lord is the house of Israel. I want you to keep that in mind. Psalms 80 and 8.
This is Psalms.
Right, another thing, like things we be hearing in the background, right? Like we heard, you know, we hear all the time, like, well, we know Jesus was a dark person and this and that. That's not going to save you, bro. That's not going to save you. If your ass don't repent, your ass is screwed, man. They think that's what, okay, well, we know Jesus is black, we know about the messages. No, you don't know the Bible. If you come up here and try to contest the men of the Lord, see if you know the Bible, man. And we'll prove to you through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI that you don't know a damn thing about this book, man. Of your book. You don't know anything. You think you know, but you don't. Like it said, if we ask you to break down Genesis 1 and 1, Genesis 1, verse, Genesis chapter 1, 1, 2, 3, or just 1 and 1, you can't even break that down. Guarantee it. You people don't know the scriptures, man. Go ahead, bro. Psalms 80.
Bro, just back you up real quick. Alright, 1 Corinthians 8 and 2. And if any man think that he know of anything, he know of nothing, yet as he ought to know. Just backing up the bro. You know, people always talk about what they know. You know, like the two bug out, what was that, the last week? Or maybe even the week before that came up and oh yeah, you know, I know Jesus was black, but I can't get down with this white man book.
That's just complete confusion.
Yeah, because where did you get it at that he was a man of color? Other than the images. The scriptures.
Really, I'm beyond all this. I'm on something else.
Yeah, when Jake, and that's why I immediately shut down on Jake. When Jake say that type of stuff, once they use that, there's nothing else to say to you. You got it all. What can I explain to you? Not a damn thing, you know? It'd be a waste of time.
This is Psalms 8, chapter 88, verse 8.
80 verse 8.
80 verse 8.
80 verse 8. Okay.
This is Psalms chapter 80, verse 8.
Right.
Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it.
Whoa. Read that again, Baba Kushar.
Psalms chapter 80, verse 8. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it.
Okay, so who's that vine that was brought out of Egypt? Exodus 20, verse 2. I am Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. The Israelites, they were the ones that were brought out of Egypt. Right? Another quick one, book of Amos 3, verse 1, it says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity. We will read this to Jake time and time, but they will still utter the stupidity out their mouth. Say, well, the Lord is dealing with everybody. Well, what did I just read? I mean, like, are you delusional? The scriptures say the Lord have brought, hear this word, key point. Hear this word, O children of Israel. You see? Hear this word, I am speaking to you. I have brought you, roughly paraphrase now, I brought you out of the land of Egypt, right? You out of all the families of the earth, all the people, you only have I known. So therefore I will punish you for all your wicked iniquities. Jake, ask yourself, why are you as a nation as a whole being jacked up all through the four corners of the earth? Why? Why is it that? Why is all the other nations doing all the madness and they prospering and doing whatever they want and they ain't getting jacked up? Because they're the heathen. The Lord is not dealing with them as children. He's dealing with his people. The people that he made the agreement with. The people that he said, don't do this. You do this, this is going to happen. Or no, I'll say it like this. If you be obedient to my word, you know, you're going to get the blessings, right? If you be disobedient, all these curses is going to come upon you. Right. That wasn't a covenant made with the other nations, so it doesn't apply to them. See, it applies to you. So that's the green light for the Lord to continue to check your ass up.
Right, and you know, now the situation is changing now because Deuteronomy 30 and 7 is coming into effect, where the curses is coming on these heathens now. But for a long time, and even still now to this day, that's an indicator of the children of Israel. Whom he loved, he chastised. These other nations ain't getting chastised for the wickedness they doing, eating dog, cats, rat, bat, you know, committing all manners of wickedness. They're not really getting jacked up like Jake is, man.
An Ammonite can go to the store, go grab a straw right out the
water, whatever.
Yeah, wherever they little shit, wherever they grab it from. The tank, and eat it and be cool. Just eat it while it's live, and cool. Jake do that shit, your ass be standing dead sick in the hospital.
Yep. Yep, we know, man. I know y'all seen them videos on the internet where they be knocking out them rats and skinning them alive and shit.
Yeah, boy.
Let Jake do that shit. Your ass had a bubonic fucking plague, bro.
Yeah.
Your fingers be black, falling the fuck off and shit, like you got gangrene or something, man.
Yeah.
But these heathens been doing this stuff for years, man.
Yeah.
Thousands of years, man. And ain't shit really bad happened to them.
Right.
Bubonic plague ain't broke out on the mass scale yet. But guaranteed that shit's coming for Jake.
Right, because it's like almost programmed, it's like almost where our bodies, because we are a special people, and the Lord has basically, he made us different, bro.
Yeah.
He made us different. Our whole body, our whole structure is made different, man. Listen, Jake is ignorant, bro. Jake is just ignorant, bro. Kill these niggas, man. Can't wait to fuck you niggas up, man. Straight up. Go up, bro. I got it.
You still got something left?
Yeah, I got Psalm 88 again. Psalm 88.
This is Psalms chapter 80, verse 8. Thou hast brought
then
a
you
vine.
want Esau walking on her stuff, man. Damn devil. Fucking turn to you people, man. It's 100 strikes in the kingdom for your ass, man.
Oh, fuck 100. Hey, you got it coming, Esau. Hey, man. You know, it is what it is, man.
Hey, bro.
Hey, look, I've been in the spirit of claiming dudes now, too, man. For a swift judgment, man. Oh, yeah, you going in my field. Hey, motherfucker, look at me funny. I ain't eating my, I want you, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm going to get that ass in the kingdom, and I'm going to whoop you, dog.
Oh, bro.
This is Psalms 80, chapter verse 8.
Long word.
Psalms chapter 80, verse 8. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. Thou preparest room before it, and didst cause it to take deep root and fill the land.
Yeah, so going back to this vine, this is speaking of Israel, that the Lord brought up out of Egypt. This vine is the house of Israel. See, no way around it. Going forward, brother. Yeah, Isaiah 65 and 8.
All right. Book of Isaiah 65, verse 8.
Yeah.
Thus saith Yahawah, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it.
Slovakia. Go to 2 Ezra 9 first. Slovakia. 2 Ezra 9 first. So I can tie it all in.
2 Ezra 9.
What, 17? Yeah, 17, yep.
2 Ezra 9 and 17. And he answered me, saying, like as the field is, so is also the seed. As the flowers be, such are the colors also. Such as the workman is, so also is the work. And as the husbandman is himself, so is his husbandry also, for it was the time of the world. And now,
Where you at? 19?
I'm at 18.
Keep going.
And now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed.
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
And by a law which is unsearchable, rid themselves.
Right.
So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril. Is this right? Second Ezra, 9. That's 10. The multitude perished in which was born in vain. That's what you want. Oh no, this is what you want right here. The song, the spirit of greatness.
Yeah.
So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril, because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
Right, now this is speaking of the remnant. This is speaking of Israel. Okay? So it says what? Let the multitude perish in vain, but this cluster, right, that the Lord kept represents the remnant, man. Starting with YAHAWASHI. Represents the remnant, man. Right. See? Isaiah 65 and 8.
Isaiah 65, verse 8. Thus saith Yahweh, as the new wine is found, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it, so will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all.
Go ahead, a little more. One more.
And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountain. And mine elect shall inherit it, and my servant shall dwell there.
Right, so Salakia. I didn't mean to say that last one in 2 Ezra 9 was speaking about that remnant, that cluster of grapes, right? Isaiah 65 chapter, right, 8 and 9, that one is starting with YAHAWASHI and the remnant, okay? That one is YAHAWASHI and the remnant. The one with the cluster of the grapes in 2 Ezra 9 is the remnant, okay? Wanted to correct that real quick, okay? The one with the cluster of grapes in 2 Ezra 9 is dealing with the remnant, right? But Isaiah 65 and 8 is dealing with the remnant, but starting with YAHAWASHI. Read it over, bro, one more time.
Isaiah 65 and 8. Thus saith Yahweh, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. So will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all.
A blessing is in it. I will not destroy them all. This is letting you know who this is speaking about. The precept is 2 Ezra 9. See, what the rest of the ones we grabbed. Go ahead.
And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountain.
Right. We know that means government. Isaiah 9 and 5.
And mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there.
Go.
Right. Yeah. The remnant. You know, the remnant out of Israel.
Right. Right. Isaiah 9. Let's get some discussion with you, brother. Let's get them these wicked ass people in this place.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior.
No, 6. Block your 6.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto.
Go ahead, no, what's good? That's beautiful. Put up that.
Okay, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Right, so we know this war that's going to be now is World War III, which is inevitable. We know this is going to be burning with a fuel of fire. Man. We know missiles is going to be shot out from different countries, right? And mainly hitting over here where's that main target? America here, Babylon the Great. You see? The battle as before, right? Where you had people having hand-to-hand battles, hand-to-hand combat, you know, swords, axes, shields, certain people was on horsemen, you know, shooting arrows, all that confused noise, man. You see? But this is gonna be with the burning of the fuel fire. The missiles, man. You see? Go ahead.
For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given,
right?
And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder. Starting with YAHAWASHI. Go ahead.
And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
See? These are These are the different titles that these were given. Any more?
This is of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end.
That's right, right, no end. We get to the kingdom, there's gonna be no end, man. You see? Go ahead.
Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
Right, beautiful. Micah 5 and 2. Can I read that? Okay.
Malachi 4 and 1.
Before you get that, I believe it's Micah 5 and 2. I believe. Speaking about the kingdom of YAHAWASHI. 4 and 2. 4. Here we go, yeah.
You want me to start at 1?
Yep.
All right. This is Micah chapter 4, verse 1.
Right.
But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the tops of the mountains.
Right.
And it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow unto it.
Right.
And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways.
Right. That's not going on right now. The law's not going forth out of our homeland. These other nations ain't saying, hey, let's go to the Holy Land over there and let's get instruction from the people of the Lord. But you know why it's not even happening? Because the people of the Lord is not even in their homeland. So how they gonna do that, man? Hey, they go over there right now. They gonna be getting told to go celebrate Pink City with them, man. You know, in Tel Aviv. There's some people over there. Them ain't the real people of the Lord. Those false Jews over there, man. They'll be over there still teaching corruptly. What they say, like kosher swine. No such thing as that. No such thing as kosher swine.
You can't bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing.
Yep.
It says, and the people shall flow unto it. Verse 2. It says, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
Right.
For the law shall go forth out of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right, see? The law should go forth from Zion. You don't see that happening right now. See? And the law is not going forth from Zion. What's up, bro?
Going on, right? I ain't down no more.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do my tour. Come on, little baby.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, bro. Yeah. The law ain't going forth through Zion. Right, go ahead.
Verse 3. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Right, you see, this is of the glory, this is of the peace, this is of the kingdom, see? But this is letting you know that if the real Jews are in their holy land, there will be peace on the earth. There'll be no more wars. See, this is a cut to you, this is a cut to all you people out there to say the real Jews, the apostles over there in our holy land are the real Jews. Well, there should be no more wars, there should be peace, right? The law should be going forth, all these different things. Why can't y'all explain this? Because y'all don't know prophecy, y'all don't know the Bible. See?
And it's plain too.
Yeah, to add on to that, if that's so, if those so-called Jewish people over there are the real Israelites or the real Jews, why, you know, who brought them over there on ships?
Right.
Nobody. Who saved them from tribulation? Who saved them out of captivity?
Well, hold on, they're rich. The Bible says the real Jews would be in poverty.
Nobody poverty, but that one rich.
Grab that, bro. The real Jews would be in poverty. Oh, we know for sure the tribe of Judah in poverty.
Matter of fact, the scriptures say in the curses of Deuteronomy, that shall be oppressed always, you know? Like Vocab Malone tried to come out with some bull crap during the live stream with the Dallas brothers, talking about, oh, where did he what did he say? Where did the jakes that are in Africa? He said, where did the jakes that are over there in Africa? When did they get taken out of there?
He said, where did the brothers
they get
in
brought in
Nigeria? When did they get brought on ships? What are you talking about? You got a lot of brothers and sisters over here from Nigeria. What are you talking about? That came, came over here, or their mothers fathers and their fathers and their mothers, their grandparents were brought over here on slave ships. You see? And that's how they end up being born in America. Shut up, man.
Hey, hey man, if you want to play those type of logical games, well, okay, when did those, how come those so-called Jews are not being oppressed? You said you will be oppressed always.
Yeah.
How come they not being oppressed? Okay, you know, like the brother said, when did they get their own ships?
According to him, then this is the kingdom. If the real Jews is in the, if those the real Jews in the Holy Land, this is the kingdom of heaven here. You gotta be out your rabbit man.
One second. Now look, and also, you made me lose my point. And, when did those Jewish people? Man, go ahead.
Yeah, why you standing like that, bro?
Oh, then you keep my arm back in there. It's all good.
Formation, so that's why I was like.
Y'all gonna answer her question?
Yeah, one second. We're gonna answer when she wants to answer.
I think I was gonna do what y'all had to do.
Yeah, that's all. You know, but she ain't running the show. But we're gonna answer. We were just discussing something back and forth. Back your head up a little bit, You lost it? Okay, now what's your question?
No, Jesus Christ was the Son of God in the Bible.
Right?
So, you're arguing with the Bible?
Huh?
You're arguing with the Bible?
No, I'm not arguing with the Bible. I'm reading from the Bible.
Okay, well,
So
but he was neither black nor white, he was Jewish.
Sure, hold on. Say that argument again?
He was neither black nor white, he was Jewish.
What color are the real Jews?
So he was brown.
What color are the real Jews?
They're very dark brown.
We're very dark brown.
Yeah, you know what? You make a good point. No one on this planet Earth is either white or black. Right? You're not white.
I'm not white.
Exactly. Your blood shows forth to your skin. You're not white.
You're red. Pink is red. Pink is red.
Peaches, they want to call it in the Crayola box. No one is this topic. What was that color? You're right. They're dark brown. And that's a more accurate representation of the Messiah right there.
Get Judah 14 and 2. Get Hebrews 7 and 14.
Brown hair, brown accent is cool.
Well, actually, it said his eyes were as a flame of fire, so it will be red.
Yep.
From drinking wine.
We gonna get it.
I want to know what. Oh, I think our viewpoint is.
Okay. It ain't about arguing viewpoint, right? So it's about the truth of the Bible. So what we are doing is we're bringing out the truth of the Bible, and also, you know, we're making the truth plain upon the table. You know, but we have to put out these different images of these false representations of what they say our Messiah look like for the truth's sake. Oh, that's what it comes down all about the truth.
But
now,
Jews are dark hair. They're not.
No. So, give me Revelation 1. Okay, no, you're alright. Give me Revelation 1 and give me Daniel 10:5. Now, you are correct on a few things. Now, with the world called Jesus Christ, he is a real Jew. He's not Jewish.
Be careful by the camera.
Because a person that's Jewish, right? You're basically saying you're pertaining to be a Jew. So if I say you have on blue-ish shorts, your shorts ain't blue. They almost look like the blue, but they're not blue. So when the people say they're Jewish, they're saying, yeah, you're pretending to be the Jews, but we're not the real Jews. The real Jews are the so-called Negroes here in America, according to prophecy.
Jew is short for Judah.
Yep, Jews for Judah. Now,
That's why he said he only called us a Negro.
give me Hebrews 7 and 14.
Because that only represents one tribe. Okay, when you say Jewish, you're saying like unto the tribe of Judah. If you want to be correct about it, if you want to play semantics, which they typically do, Judah would be Jewish would be like unto the tribe of Judah.
The man of the Lord, the king, prophecies of the scripture were spoken of him.
He gave his life freely when they came to him.
Well, that's because he had to do the will of the Heavenly Father. That's what he had to go through for his people. You know?
He was prophet.
That was called.
I mean, and he said,
Because all this is written about the Lord. He come in the volume of the book. This is all speaking and concerning him. You know?
so he's not God.
Yeah, he's the son of the Heavenly Father, right? Yeah, he's the son of the Heavenly Father, but he prophesied also. Prophesied he was the same before. So
Yeah,
you would say,
yeah.
Yeah, so yep.
Someone very last time.
Huh?
Someone very last time. Someone very last time.
No. He's coming back. But she said, is someone better than him coming? No.
Oh, no.
He's
no,
going to return
no.
himself in his glorified body.
Right. Well,
now look, you asked about him being a prophet. His whole spirit is prophecy.
Right. Spirit of prophecy. Right.
The spirit of YAHAWASHI, who the word of Jesus Christ, is the spirit of prophecy. Okay. And so
let's take one thing at a time. Let's get Hebrews 7:14. Right.
Right.
Go ahead.
So this is Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. Says, for it is evident, for it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, for which tribe Moses spake nothing of concerning the priesthood.
Right. So that's letting you know that our Lord and Savior sprang out of the tribe of Judah. You see, because he's of the seed of David, right? Which David was from the tribe of Judah. Right. Jeremiah 14:2.
This is Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2.
Back up your statement about the Jews being. You said the Jews are being had dark skin, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
Right.
They are black unto the ground.
Right. When you look up that word black in the Hebrew, it's pador, meaning to be dark. They are black. They are the dark people. They are black into the ground. Go ahead.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Right, because they was going through a famine. See, and if you're already dark and you're going through a famine, what happens? You become darker.
Oh.
You become darker into a famine. Huh? I mean,
not like a raisin, but
no, but some people's bodies do shrivel up and turn, kind of messed up when I eat after a while.
When people get older, and they lose weight, and they lose their body fat.
Yeah.
I can kind of see what you mean.
But basically, this is giving you a description of the Jews.
The real Jews, yup.
They are black unto the ground.
Yeah, because the tribe of Judah, that's why it says Judah was mourning. They was mourning because of the famine, but it's letting you know that their complexion also. Okay. Now, when y'all got the color of the Lord?
Yeah, I got it right here. So, this is Revelation, chapter 1, and verse 13. And in the midst of the
Revelation 1 and 1.
This is Revelation 1, verse 1. The revelation of YAHAWASHI HaMashiach, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ,
right?
Which the Most High gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Now jump to 13. So now revelation means to reveal. So the color of the Lord is about to be revealed to John on the island of Patmos. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
That's why you see us wearing our garment. Like the Lord has get a garment on down to the foot, because this is our ancient custom. Right? Go ahead.
And a girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Right, like a buckling belt. Or like as you see it's being depicted on that picture. Go ahead.
Alright, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
See, now I know you get
over here, man. Jesus Christ.
Okay, the one we are reading about the one that
we're reading about right now, his revelation or his revealing.
We're speaking of what he would look like.
They're portraying long brown hair.
Who? Yeah, with the folk.
Yep, right.
Now, you got images, with the brown hair. Some of them be a little bit
kind of blondish, and
blondish a little bit.
Other images is kind of blondish, yeah.
But they're all wrong. This is all wrong.
Right.
Go ahead.
I've argued this point for perhaps Jesus wasn't nothing like any of the Americans, unless they're black.
Right. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool.
White like wool. So I know you ever seen an older man, a very older man where he got gray hair.
Get your head out of there! Fuck. Old guy.
Red fox.
Red fox. I don't mean to.
Nah, yeah.
Feel really good.
It's alright.
red fox was very similar to that, the white hair.
Right, he had the grays of what they would call a hoary head, which is a white head.
Go ahead. He had white hair, but like, go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
White like wool. So now when we go into wool, we know wool is not a color. Wool's a what? A texture.
It's more like yours.
Right. Go ahead.
Right. As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now, contrary to popular belief, we know the Lord right now is angry, and also he drank wine. And that's why they said what? They called him a wine bibbler. They called him a wine bibbler, and a friend of the public. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And his feet,
right,
like unto fine brass.
His feet like it's a fine brass, right?
As if burnt in a furnace.
Right, meaning it would be darker. Now, what's the color of brass? Color of brass? More like on a penny or like a copper penny.
Like this right here.
Okay.
It's like a brass penny.
But as if it burns in the furnace, though.
So it's more like your...
That's more darker. You know, it probably was darker to me, you know. But now I'm speculating as a man, but as the scriptures say, as it burned into a furnace.
Right. So I've seen many of, I don't think the black and white look like I am, but the black men, the old black men, they're darker in color. But then because why do you start, you don't get start lying?
When it goes to age, but people with melanin, so called, in their skin, they get more there in the sun, the more darker they get.
Yeah, get that fan on it.
That's a precept I was going to bring out. Song of Solomon 1 and 5. Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black but comely.
They got a little bit more on there.
So like it said, as if they burned in a furnace. If you look at the tip of this incense here, right? It just was on fire. What color is that? It's black. That's really, I wouldn't even say this is dark brown. This actually looks black. Now, when you talk about polished brass, you get this idea of like a ROTC or military guys that polish their belt buckles real shiny and stuff. But in actuality, polished brass is brass that has been fired. It's been fired in the kiln, and then it's been polished afterwards. And it gets this very dark color. Okay? So if you put anything in the furnace, it becomes cheap, so to speak. Now, this is Song of Solomon 1. You ready for this?
Right, now this is King David's son, King Solomon. Also from the tribe of Judah.
1 and 5. I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
Right, meaning Kedar, meaning daughter.
I'm black and beautiful.
Right, I'm black and beautiful, right.
O you daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar,
right,
as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me because I am black,
right, because
the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. But the point is, look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. Even me, if you look at some of my parts, they're very light. Now, but as you look at some of my other parts, they're darker than me, because I've been more in the sunlight. And because there's melanin somewhere deep down in there, I don't get sunburned, but I get darker, you know? So that's what Solomon's going into, you know? The sun looked upon him, so he is black. Very dark-skinned man,
now,
just like the Messiah.
One more I want to get.
Very
dark.
Very dark brown.
I just want to get one more before I ask you a certain question. Daniel 10 and 5.
This is Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with a fine girdle, with fine gold of Uphah. His body also was like a beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Right, now this is Daniel being revealed an image of our Lord. He said, what he said about his arms and what?
He says, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
His arms and his feet like in the color of polished brass. Now, why is it mentioning like his head and his hairs, his feet, his arms, his feet again? Because they're exposed. Because remember, they wasn't wearing shorts and stuff, so they had garments tied around so what you could see. Their arms, their feet,
Just
that
like
they had
the
on.
priest wear on the altar.
Yeah, that so to speak, like a robe type of garment looking thing. Right. No, yeah, garment. Right. And that, yeah, like that. Yeah.
Priestly garb.
Yep. And his voice as his word, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
Right. So meaning the Lord spoke very loud. Now we know in the scriptures that the heavenly Father, the Son was an austere man. He was a very strict in manner. He spoke very loud. He spoke as a man. He even had no effeminate voice as they portray him as. Like the movies like Passion of the Christ and all that, they don't show the true characteristics of the Lord. Not only his image, but
Wherever he was there, he was there.
What he stood for, what he was about, what he came to do, everything was about. They don't see it the correct way. Now we know the Lord came on the scene to save his people from their sins. That's one of the main things that he came to do, to save his people, the Israelites, from their sins. Now I should do this, even though you believe all that. This, it doesn't matter what you look like or what land you was born to be an Israelite. As long as your father's an Israelite, you can be an Israelite. And it's not because it's not about the skin color. Because
Your face.
it's about seed. It's all about the seed of your father.
Lineage.
It's not about your lineage. Because really, true Israelites truly believe in the Bible. Now, if your spirit bear with our spirit, right, and you agree that everything in Scripture is to be the truth as it's presented, then strong possibility you're an Israelite. And you can't, more than likely, you can't let nobody determine you or stray you away from your faith behind your skin color or what you may appear to look like today. Because we got brothers that's doing the same thing that we're doing right now to look like, I don't see no so-called Caucasian with white person.
Even lighter tone than you.
Lighter tone, walking past while we're pointing them out and say, okay, like this little boy, this little blue uniform shirt, right, walking past with uniform shirt. You have brothers like that right now doing what we're doing. See? Same exact message of the Holy Scripture. They
I
portray.
don't argue with your point, but I'm curious, when is Israel or Jesus Christ or Jehovah? Now there's a part of the Bible where it's discussed the same as Jehovah.
Well, that's the English transliteration of his name. They didn't speak English. As a matter of fact, the letter J didn't come into fruition until 1634.
I believe 1634, round about there,
Round about
1600.
This, just to put it plainly, this book, 1611, no J's whatsoever. His name cannot be Jehovah. And then furthermore, English is the youngest language.
Yep.
English is the youngest language on the planet Earth.
French, German.
There's Latin, then there's Spanish, which comes from Latin. Of course, Hebrew, but I'm just saying, as far as when we go into the lineage of English, Latin, Spanish, then English. See? So this is a very young language. But anyway, the point we're making is his name could not have been that English transliteration. So even though we read it here, whose name only is Jehovah, which somebody brought that scripture out like last week, and Jehovah's Witness like a week or two ago. Yeah. But we had to let her know his name could not have been that English name. Okay?
That's how we derive.
That's how we derive. But if we could even get the preface to Ecclesiastes, if we really want to go deep into it.
You see Jehovah numerous times in the Bible.
Not in this Bible though. 1611. Why there's no J in this Bible at all?
Okay.
Remember we told you the letter J came about around 1634.
That's when it was invented or put into practice.
That's when it was basically established. Now this is 1611 prior. That's why there's no J's in it.
How is he referred to in there?
It has an I. So they had an I first, but then they put the hook on it and made it a J later on. But remember, it's still translated in, to the English.
The great I am.
Well, Yahawah. It's not Jehovah. His true name is Yahawah. Meaning he is. He exists. He's the deep. Because he is everything. That's the true name.
The great I am.
He is.
I am that I am, which is a phrase that he told. He said, Ahaya. He was speaking in the first tense. So when we speak upon him, we don't say I am sent him. We say he is sent. We say Yahweh, he is sent me to you. Now,
Y'all meaning he and then Hawa meaning is or exists.
now I will say this: the way that we pronounce the Hebrew, we believe on faith, and it also been confirmed by those fake Jews. They say that's a dead way of speaking. Okay, but the way they speak, even according to their own definition, is Yiddish. It's called Yiddish. Okay, it's like a German Slavic way of speaking the Hebrew. The Hebrew. It's a German way of pronouncing Hebrew. Okay, yeah, you never heard about that? I can get that definition for you. I do actually have some. No. Latin, I was just using that as an example of where English derives from. English derives from Latin. But Hebrew was way before that.
Right.
Hebrew was way before.
Okay.
What?
Yeah,
Hebrew was the first language.
and the language that was kept.
So, whenever, and this is going to be off, completely off topic. Adam and Eve in the garden. And Eve ate of the, Adam ate of the apple.
No,
Eve ate first.
first to get the apple, but that's
Which one out of Acts?
but that's like going into the Adam and Eve and that whole ordeal with the apple.
Let's just say,
Well, it wasn't really an
let's
apple.
just say that it's a bit deeper than what's on the outer surface. Okay, when the general narrative of that story is completely wrong.
What they teach,
The way they teach it, the way they paint it, the idea you get of a physical fruit being eaten, it's not true. Now, but
It was an act.
there was an act that was done. Let's simplify it. There was an act that was done that was a sin, that was considered a sin, that they were told not to do.
Thrown out of the garden of Eden.
Yes, sin came into the world through those actions, and they fell from grace.
Metaphor for different philosophies taking on philosophies of the other nations.
There were other people around. There were other people around at that time, and it was the things that they were doing, the fruit of their doings was forbidden. Okay, it was forbidden for them to learn.
And it wasn't a real snake; it was a man with a subtle serpent spirit. Esau like.
Here, we can actually look it up for you. If you actually look up the definition of serpent, it'll tell you that it's a deceit.
But they walked,
Serpent-like
right?
man.
Yeah.
They walked when they were part of
Yeah, I mean, but there was, remember, it was Adam and Eve, and there was other people around. So it's just.
Well, how did God strike the...
It's broad to go
That's why really to get into it, it would take a long time to really to bring it to you. But let's just put it this way, okay? That action that was portrayed by that serpent-like man foretold his condition in the end time.
Right.
He would be brought down low. That's what that represents. It's not talking about dragging like people walking around, and then all of a sudden they got turned into damn serpents slithering around eating dust. No, it's talking about people who later on down the line, people that came in that same spirit, would be cast down to the lowest of the lowest people on the planet.
Right.
That's all it represents.
So going back and dealing with the names, as you were saying, like, the names of the Heavenly Father are in the Holy Tongue. So, like I said, the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahawah. Now, Proverbs 34, the names are also a mystery that is only revealed into the Lord shows it. Go ahead, Proverbs 34. This is, like, why would this say this, Proverbs 34?
This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4.
Right.
Who hath ascended up into heaven?
Right.
Or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist?
Yep.
Who hath bound the waters in a garment?
Right.
Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell?
What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Why would it say that?
They usually say the Father in heaven. They revealed the Holy. And then the Bible I've read.
What?
The Bible I've read.
What you read? Which one you read?
King of David. I never David.
King James Version. Yeah. Now, we don't deny that that's what it says. Physically, when you look at it, we don't deny that. What we're saying is that when you get deeper into it, it just posed the question: what is his name and what is his son's name? If thou can tell, if you can tell,
I am the great I am. That's what it is.
but you have to understand that question it's posing you a question. It said, if you can tell.
But then
if you ask somebody to guess something, they don't know it. It's not, they have to figure it out. They have to go seek out the answer, right? That's what that's telling.
But then it boils down to this: what language was it written in before then?
Right.
Before it got to the English, what was the language? What was the Old Testament written? What was the New Testament written? So you have to go back
They
and
have the
those.
same language?
No.
The New Testament, well, actually,
I mean, to a point, yeah.
I've heard that the New Testament was first written in Hebrew.
In Hebrew,
then it was written in
Greek
because they were in Greek activity.
Right.
They were around Greek,
Fact.
and a lot of people knew Greek, so
Right.
they had to. Just like now, we know English, and so we had to receive this version so that we could comprehend what's being said.
Yeah.
Back then, they had to receive the Greek version so that they could comprehend what was being said. Because a lot of the people, the Israelites, grew up in other nations and they knew nothing of the Hebrew. Yeah. They only knew the language of that land, which was Greek in most cases. So they had to have a version that those people could understand.
Right.
Why are there so many Greeks that are Catholic?
Well, I mean, that's the religion they chose to be in, you know? Now, we know, like, dealing with the Bible, the Greeks in the Bible, dealing with the pertaining to salvation, who Paul is speaking of, who like when it says,
we say Jesus Christ help me, he's helped me out tremendously many times.
but we're not calling on a name that doesn't belong to him.
But he has other names.
No, he has one name. He has many titles, but one name.
Now look, I'm not denying. You go ahead and tell them the scripture.
Zechariah 14.
Now look, we're not denying that things have not happened when people have called on that name. Those are not miracles, but the point is, his true name and that vibration that comes with his true name is being spread on the earth. And only those who attach to that and adhere to that will be saved. Everybody else is he's not gonna be trying to hear those false names in the day. Okay. He's giving you a chance to get to know who he really is. And it's up to you if you receive that. Well, it's up to him whether to receive that. What's up, buddy? It's really up to him if you receive that.
Look at your false prophet.
Right. Yep.
No, he's calling himself the Father. And the scripture says, you can't call no man Father.
He bowed to idols. What is he? Bowed to the Black Madonna?
Black Madonna, yeah. Zechariah 14.
That's different.
That's different. People worship the Pope like he's the Father. People go to the Pope as if he is the Lord himself. When people think of the different Pope or these different Catholic priests, they really believe that they can take away and heal their sins. Like when they go into the little pits and say, Father, I confess to you. No, you're supposed to confess to the Lord in the heavens.
That's what I was about to say.
You're supposed to confess to the Lord in the heavens, not to these are men.
Yep.
That's all.
What's their channel? They're open up.
Okay, but the Lord
channel. We got English. What is it?
Amos 37. There's only one channel that the Lord is speaking to, and it's starting with YAHAWASHI. Yeah, there's one YAHAWASHI, but under YAHAWASHI, the Lord is speaking to who today?
So this one too. Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets.
So we know the Lord is dealing with the prophet. Luke 1:68. So we now how do you get the message from the Lord now? Through the men, the prophet that he sent. This is how the Lord speaks to people through his men that he has set on earth.
So will they have and he was found in a favorite way. I was born of a virgin. And now I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm
There's a lot of
there's a lot of
There's
a lot of doctrines of deception out there for like the virgin birth and all that. No, that's no such thing. No such thing as virgin birth. Because read that. Well, I don't want to get. I want to. 40%.
So Luke 1, go to 70.
Yeah.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Go a little higher now.
Right? All right. Luke 1:68. Blessed be the most high power of of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people,
Right?
and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
That horn of salvation that was raised up in the house of David was for the people ignorant of all Jesus Christ. Messiah. Go ahead.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets.
Spake by what?
By the mouth of his holy prophets.
By the mouth of the holy prophets. This is how the Heavenly Father used it. Go ahead.
Which have been since the world began.
Been since the world began. This is how the Lord is speaking to the people. This is how he always dealt and spoke to the people.
What's that one meaning?
1 Timothy 2:5. Zechariah 14:9.
This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 9.
Now this is for you. I want you to hear this.
And the Lord Yahweh shall be king over all the earth.
Right.
In that day shall there be in that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one.
Read out, read louder. What?
In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one.
And his name one. Like I said, he has many titles, but name one.
Which is
Yahweh.
translated to Jesus.
They translated, but that don't mean that's not a proper name. A proper name can't translate. What is that called? Is that called transliteration? Right? Transliteration. But a proper name can't change. Like if I go to a different country and they say my name in a different in your native tongue, my name will stay the same. It's not going to change. So that's the same with the Heavenly Father's name. That's the same with
Well, if I would go to, if I go down south and cross the border, Mary or Maria.
right. That's what they do.
So would they call me Mary Maria?
More like they probably will call you Maria, but your name is not your name is Mary.
But guess what?
Your name is Mary. So if somebody say Maria,
Yeah.
and they say Maria, you ain't gonna, Maria, come here. You gonna keep walking. You're not gonna pay them no matter. Your name is what? Mary.
And
The
also,
thing is, I
that's
say
very
Mary
small
Grace.
difference between your
And
name.
people call me Mary, and I don't listen to it because I was named Mary Grace. Because my
Shalom, bro.
because my thing was my grandmother Mary, my aunt Grace. That's why I was born. They supposed to because they didn't supposed to marry Mary and then Grace, and I like the Mary Grace. There's so many Marys out there.
Right.
So there's David. There are a lot of Christians, a lot of Christine, a lot of Michelle, Michael.
I'm glad you said that. You said you liked that. You liked it, what you have been named. But how much more the Ancient of Days, who has named himself? He has no beginning, he has no end. He has a proper name, and he liked that because he knows it. Okay, he is. He exists. He told him what the name was. Tell them that I am has sent you unto me. So when you call him and his son something that he hasn't transcribed for them, what makes you think he's gonna answer?
Right.
Now, in our ignorance, sometimes he will. And, you know, sometimes there are people that call on those false names, and things happen. Okay, but that's in their ignorance. When you come to the knowledge of the truth, then you know better, and now you have to show better. You see what I mean? That other stuff ain't gonna cut it no more.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you, because we've been going into a lot of topics. You said you knew since you was younger that YAHAWASHI, who the world called Jesus Christ, was so-called black. How did you know that?
Because I asked them, I said, but he was in the guy, the people in Jerusalem, the men and children, whatever,
Right.
they're of black skin. They're not their dark skin, they're of black skin. Because they're just going to be hard on
that reason?
They would be called black today, but they would be a dark skin. You know, because no one knows black. You got people that's very, very dark.
I'm very, very white.
Well, I've never seen no one on the planet with the color of your throat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very, very white.
Well, I don't think you're not the color of this
Well,
sign.
I'm not white.
That's because them are false, Elder Malcolm called them. False, descriptives. I guess I want to say use false descriptions that people hide behind, like using black and white, because you know those are not actual colors of people. There's no one on the earth that's black. There's no one on the earth that's white. That's why when you go and look into the dictionary and you look at the words, you say, oh, black means all the negative things, white means all the positive things. Yeah, you know.
As
you ever notice?
metaphorically, as pertaining, yeah, to what he's saying.
And even not actual mix-up of the meaning of the color black. So the color black is
It's all
about
combined.
divinity, not negativity.
Well, we're saying the definition of color black means basically definition.
It's been given over time. It has been given negative connotations. When you go into the etymology, one of the words is actually bright for black. Believe it or not, one of the definitions in the etymology is bright, but the rest of them are negative. Okay. So,
You combine red, orange, yellow, green, blue, to go, violet. Combine everything together and you get black, right?
Oh yeah, well, okay.
That has.
That you know, we're like the brothers about to say that don't have nothing to do with everything we know this, but I want to go back to what you said that the brother was going to do. How you saying that you knew that the people of that land was of a dark complexion people.
I question my great niece or not. But he wasn't
like that.
bad. He wasn't a brown. He was a black.
So what would have happened if someone of your skin complexion or of your skin type, let's say, were to live in that region? What would happen? No, it's not true. What happens further beyond? You would get sunburned. What happens when so-called white people get sunburned? Yeah, you would get sun sick and you would get sunspots and skin would peel. So that's another aspect of why they couldn't have been so-called white people in the midst of that situation.
Yeah, because there is science supposed to call that I heard before.
That's where a child is born. Some things that would legally apply.
If you're born and your parents say have melanin, and you're gonna have melanin, then your child, when they're born, they don't have a lot of melanin, but then the melanin starts to activate and make darker.
Now, there's a science supposedly called that people say when you go in colder regions, you turn whiter. When you go in hotter regions, you turn darker. That's not really true in that case. What about the Eskimos? Right, the Eskimos. And there's people, the Eskimos are people of color. We've been in dark, cold places all the time. That's what they say, cold places. They don't
When the
turn
land
whiter.
was all one. It was one.
Pangea, all earth, right? Before the flood.
Yeah. There was no division. It was all one land.
Well, but see, let's go even modern at it. Even at the time of the Romans, right? At a period of time, there was a point where people it wasn't based on color, it was about classes. It was about classes. That's how it was. About where your class was. So there people had classes, and that's where you would rank. You know? So if you was poor, he was poor. If you was almost like middle, he was middle. If you was rich, he was rich. To a point in time. You know? So I don't want to say it wasn't no unity, but it was just about different classes. You know, a little bit similar today how they have the rich, the middle class, the poor class, something to that effect.
But we're not relevant. There's no longer middle class.
No, there's no rich and poor. That's it. You're right. But we still want to establish.
I just wanted to ask how you knew that.
How you knew that? Right.
How you knew that? And,
Well,
There were a few dark-skinned
I want to say
black
this.
people in my class. And I said, why? I said, why do the white people? Why are they darker than us? She said, because they grew up, well, their ancestors grew up around the equator.
No. No, because you were created and how you were created. Now I'll say this. Most so-called white people, right? They're Edomites. Y'all not white, y'all are Edomites. Now this is determined by nations how you were created by the Heavenly Father. They created the term white.
But yet we're the same. With the two eyes, with the nose, with the mouth.
We're not the same, we was created differently, but the term white was a head term. No, white came about in the 1600s. I want to say around 1681, around that area. Was it 1681? It was around that area, I believe.
I thought it was the 1800s.
Or was it 18?
Actually, there was a court case, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to bring it out all the time. It happened during the court case where so-called Caucasians or white people began to be classified as white.
Well, thing about the cutoff. So most Caucasian people are Edomites, but you have a lot of them that have your skin complexion that are Israelites. But at the end of the day, it all goes about the seed. It's not based on color. It's not based on where you come from. Hey, if you're an Israelite, if you're on this sign, salvation is coming to you. But if you're a two-third of these people, there's no salvation coming for you because you didn't repent, you didn't turn back to the Heavenly Father. And for that, your punishment will be, you will be here destroyed in America, Babylon, and Great. Okay, that's the punishment for not returning back to the